It's 6:18, and I'm talking to the very famous and well-travelled Suresh GP. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Thanks, Barclay.
We were just saying that there's a lot of people that go to a lot of the global conferences. You and I have met at many of them over the years, but there's only so many you can go to.
Right.
It's good to see you back. I haven't seen you here for a while.
Yep.
I see you being very active with lots of different things that you're doing. Having built your company up in the last couple of years, and well done for that.
Thank you.
What are the kind of big topics as you see it at the moment? What are the things that you find people are needing help with?
I think one of the things about coming to these events specifically is to meet a lot of these people who are figuring out what kind of skills that I need to develop, because everybody is trying to talk about digital transformation, a buzzword. But if I'm a second line support or a support, where do I take the next step? So I've done ITIL. What's next? Because there's a lot of artificial intelligence, automation, and stuff like that coming across. But it's essentially the people-to-people element, the human element that you would normally see. So what's the kind of ways that we can help people to move from their current state to the next if they want to be fitting the bill in the new way of things?
So I'm a guy who's maybe a second line support. I do a bit of desktop, a bit of applications, a bit of this and that. I use the ITSM processes and tools, and I'm a bit scared. I'm a bit frightened by, I read stuff about, well, it's all going to be automated, or everybody's being digitally transformed. I mean, what do you do with somebody like that? How do you work with them to say, right, well, there is a place for you?
I think it all boils down to understanding the context of the customer, and primarily spending a lot of time in service desk. I've understood that the more you are able to be closer to the customer, you're able to get him travel through the maze. And it's not about technology. Technology is just an enabler. But trying to understand the appetite of the customer, his ability to handle the kind of failures, his ability to handle some of these escalations. While good concept of zero incidents, you come up this term well, but essentially what you're trying to do is it still relevant for the company, for the customer? So for me, I think the service desk guy has got a lot more insights on how the journey of the customer has traversed. So that's what we are talking about, design thinking, which is essentially know your customers in and out and empathize with them in terms of concept to grade. So which is I think fundamentally boils down to good human collaborative skills, but focusing on attitude, behavior, culture. All along I've been talking about this one because you can have greatest of technology, beautiful processes, but everything breaks apart if you don't have this ABC. So one of the things is to really get cross-functional teams. So if you're part of service desk, how do you focus on what's happening in the development side of things? Because now it's kind of jack of all trades and master of none.
Well, we've been trying to do that for years. I mean, and lots of different aspects of it in terms of, the life cycle hasn't really taken off. But I do see more organisations involving service desk, excuse me, more in their transition and their, all these elements. So I think it's getting better, but it's still challenging.
Right, and that's why we kind of focus on T-shaped skills as opposed to I-shaped, because now gone are the depth of the skills that you have as a network, unique storage guy, but having the cross-functional, much more better understanding of, let's say, lean or agile and stuff like that. One of the things I'm also working is how to bring in agility in service management. From an operations standpoint, can you use a Kanban board? Much more way to do that. So I think it all boils down to having an open mind, and these conferences help to get a good business acumen. How much of your times you have seen that service desk has got a much more understanding of business side of things if they don't get exposed to that? So is it a problem of individual to go there and aspire to do that? Some of the things might have to change.
I mean, I know many that are incredibly business integrated, business focused, but I also know many that are not, and that are still kind of, and not just service desk, but the whole operations is kind of, But I mean, I think I like the idea of service desk being, as you're saying, a source of demand, not just support. Actually capturing ideas and
Correct. And being very closer to them. And I still think that human to human is much better than systems and automation, because I want someone on the phone who can speak with me and empathize with me. I'm a big believer that you need to empower people.
yeah.
So do we have an organization which actually empowers people for the digital age? You will get it. People are willing to learn. People are willing to invest. You need to have the platform to do that. So PSM such of things, I'm impressed, because you need to develop skills and competencies to have a framework for them to understand that part.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked very hard on trying to build that in a way that is generic as possible. So it's recognizing the people side of things. So, I mean, what's next for you? I mean, what's the next big thing for you?
I think we have been a lot of focused on business relationship management as a capability, not as a role, but as a discipline across the enterprise. We're working with a customer who says that the entire CA organization wants them to develop this as a capability, whether you're a service delivery manager, business analyst to do that, which I think is moving from an order taker to a strategic partner, slowly get to something.
Yeah, I mean, I like that part of it. The only thing that worries me about it a little bit, and I'll be talking about it, is just that sense of it's another
best
silo, best practice, you know. And I like the stuff, it's good. It's just how we make sure that it is across the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough. It's very tough.
Yeah.
But you'll have to slowly work with these people. Again, boils down to the people element.
Yeah.
Because if I know, understand you, then I can ways to do that.
It's all about people, isn't it?
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Well, thank you very much. We look forward to see you again
Yeah, it's a
soon.
pleasure. And I'm looking forward to your session as well. Yeah. Thank you.